Yo, hey, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
Yeah, yo.
What a week.
Welcome to WOW What a Week. Like a Protea beating Australia, or like a Bok wearing light blue, we're striding into this week with a lot of big dick confidence, even if nobody can see us in the dark due to load shedding. So, if you have electricity and can see us, welcome back to WOW What a Week.
This is Wow. What a week.
What a week. You can't make this shit up.
And our comedian guest is in the building. Here at WOW What a Week, we try to feature guests with different facets or just varied interests. Our next guest is a comedian who also has a qualification in quantity surveying. Qualification of the week. If that wasn't impressive enough, he is a Mosotho who grew up speaking isiZulu. So please give a wow sawubona welcome to Mojak Lehoko.
Yo, Fresh, you've got budget for researchers. How did you find out this information?
I just put it in my phone.
That's fine. Are you well?
I'm good, dude. How you doing, man?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. This is lovely.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Quantity Surveyor.
Yes. Oh, no, don't get into that.
In a nutshell, had you not gone this route and stuck to, why don't you get a regular job? What does a quantity surveyor do, bro?
Oh, man, this is like, people always joke that you just count bricks. That's part of it. That's one facet of it. But you're also responsible for contracts. Basically, a QS can be like a principal agent that takes care of a construction project from its conception to its delivery to
Okay, so basically if, as we all do as blacks, you're extending,
yes.
and you need a quantity surveyor to tell you how many bricks you're going to need, cement, stuff. What?
That's a waste of a quantity surveyor.
Oh,
that's
shit.
like, you're doing a food run and you're like, let's get a Lamborghini. You just need a Tata Indica. This is a 2-kilometer drive. I'm talking more like malls and stadiums. Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Umalume is extending, he mustn't call you.
He must draw that building himself. Bro. He must go to builders and get that cement and mix it and follow the instructions on the bag.
You bumped into Sol Phenduka.
I did.
On your way in.
I did.
And you said he's so random. Why do you say he's random?
Hey, Sol, I love you. I know you're going to see this. No beef, love Sol. But I just love Sol's, like, he's got such big energy, you know? It's just like,
Yeah.
I saw him and it's like, people were like, hey, good, people in the mall were like, what?
Loud.
Yeah, okay, I didn't say that.
You know when white folk
Yes.
say we're loud,
Yeah.
black folk feel like Sol is loud.
Sol Phenduka, you're so loud, you turn us into white people.
You know those blacks who are like, I stopped going to the Foyers market when I started seeing a lot of blacks there.
No.
Were you one of those blacks?
I've never been to the Foyers market.
Okay, so you are one of those blacks.
No, what does that mean?
I heard the blacks are going there now.
No, I just don't have petrol, man. It's too far.
So Trevor Noah has been in the country,
That's
and
correct.
you've been working with Trevor.
Yes.
So what exactly was your role on this tour?
Basically with Trevor, it's quite simple work. We discuss premises for his new shows.
Yeah.
He's away a lot, and so what he likes to do is localize all of the shows.
Sure,
So basically,
sure.
just talking about the topics that I had hand, without getting too deep into the minutiae of the politics. It's kind of broadly.
Minutia,
So-
word of the week.
It's just like without digging too much into the nitty gritty
Okay.
of the ideas, and so we'll discuss stuff and go, hey, the talking point is load shedding maybe, and then
Sure.
these are some of the things you can maybe discuss.
Sure.
Yeah.
So basically what are you saying? That now you're a quality surveyor for committee.
I mean, I'm never going to live this down. I should have never put it, in my first bio, I should have never put in that I was studying quantity surveying.
Now, you've said before that some of your more notable gigs were when shit didn't necessarily go well.
Yes.
Now, when you're part of a writing team,
Yeah.
you've also put your neck on the line because you're at the back there.
Yes.
Given what you've said before about how some of your best gigs or notable gigs
Yeah.
where shit didn't quite work out,
Yeah.
how do you feel when someone walks on stage and you're like, ish, it was funny when I wrote it.
Hey, No, because we were part of the writing team for the roast of Kanyimba.
Oh, yes.
And so obviously you have 12 panelists, all with varying ability in terms of being on stage. And you know that you've done stand-up, you've been, so you've got that kind of...
I've done 5 minutes of stand-up.
I mean, that's 5 minutes more than 99% of the world.
True.
And so when we did this roast, it was like, damn, sometimes, hey, I'm not going to say names, but sometimes you see a brewer up there, then you're like, hey, that's not what I wrote down. You're just like, you didn't listen to me, you didn't take my instruction, and here we are now. But as a writer, the thing you learn very early in your career is to not be precious about the ideas that you've written down.
Okay, so basically write it and let it go.
Exactly. You know, there's a show that's dropping this week that we maybe submitted about 18 months ago.
Sure.
And we saw a screening and it was like, oh, loved it. And it went in the best way possible. But I've been on a part of other productions where I was like, this does not match what I sent you at all. Yeah.
I was misrepresented.
Completely. In fact, take my name off this.
No, but are you ever tempted to like just say, no, guys?
I mean, it's hard. I don't want to... I did. I'm not going to... You know what?
You've done it before. Let's hear it.
No comments, guys. I signed the NT. Signed the NT. I don't know what you're talking about, fresh. I've loved every job I've worked on.
But you've also done acting.
I have.
Let's talk about that, dude.
Acting is its own monster, and it's interesting because as an actor, you have to make decisions, right? You get a script and you have to interpret it. And sometimes you can see when, like, as an actor, you've made a completely wrong decision. Or, like...
Or they overestimated me here.
My favorite, though, okay, this is my favorite. This is going to sound messed up.
Yeah.
Is when you find, like, people who aren't actors and then they've cast them in a really big show, and then it's like, you can see them, like, waiting for their lines, like, waiting for their cue.
Like, I'm ready, guys. I've memorized these things.
And that's why I'm so angry. You're like, hey, why does this feel like a grade 7 play? Get out of here. This is like they spend millions on this. I love watching extras in movies because they're always bad. They're always like...
Oh, yes.
Or they'll look into a camera.
Oh, they're so self-conscious.
Oh, dude, I love an extra in a movie.
In fact, one of the reasons I pay attention to extras is because some extras are so good. You actually wonder if these people were brought in as extras or if this was shot in a public space.
Really?
Where people had no idea they were extras even. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel
So I often expect the extra to look like they were not even part of the scene.
Yeah. I will say, like, it's crazy the levels of acting, because sometimes you watch a production and you are just completely blown away by an actor's ability to convey a character. And so I'll tell you this about anything. I love people who are the best at that craft, and so I love watching a great DJ play a set that gets everybody rocking.
Yes.
A musician who's jamming, an actor who, like, makes us forget we're in the theater.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I'm not there. I dabble in all of this stuff, but I really love working with that kind of caliber.
So you appreciate people who give everything?
Without a doubt. Yeah. And I love an expert.
Yes.
I love someone who knows their craft backwards, who can teach you a trick about something because they put years and years and years.
And you see the experience.
Without a doubt.
And then you understand why, okay, that's why he gets paid that money.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, that's when... Here's the mark of someone who's really good at what they do. Yeah. They make it look easy.
Yes.
And then you go and you try to better there and we're like, hey, DJ. And like, that's how you see the real mark of someone who's good.
I don't want to go here, but I'm going to go here.
Oh, no.
I remember when I moved from YFM to 5FM.
Sure.
And obviously for a lot of people, it was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, where is he going? And I think the biggest group of naysayers outside of mainly white males who sent hate mail because they felt I might be an affirmative action appointee.
Oh, I remember that era, yeah.
Or he's here to ruin our radio station. For me, bigger than that were the blacks who treated this thing like he mustn't go there and embarrass us.
Oh, wow.
And then 5 years in, when my numbers are bigger than they've ever had on the afternoon drive show, the same blacks now are like, I was far again.
Oh no! Like put me.
Like I made it seem so easy.
Yeah.
You started hearing guys now on some. So who do I send my demo to? Oh, and in my mind, I'm like, you suck where you are. Why do you think you want to come here?
After I've built all of this. I built a house that you want to come burn down.
I built a house, and you when I was building the house, you're one of the naysayers
Damn, man.
who felt like, he's going to embarrass us, this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's hard when you pioneer a thing in any field to be the first. There's going to be that inherent backlash.
Yeah.
And people don't see the battles that you fight, right, on your own, in isolation.
And the anxiety sometimes that you have to deal with
Of course.
just to get past 5 minutes
And
of being there.
even self-doubt, like, you know, because if you hear people say a thing enough, you'll start, like, going, and if you're not resolute, it will mess with you.
In fact, because of what you're saying,
Yeah.
and because of the storm it created, I mean, I was on gardening leave from YFM for 3 months because of my contract. So my YFM contract ended end of June.
Sure.
So for 3 months I was unemployed,
Okay.
but why were paying me
Yes,
to be
yes.
off air.
Okay.
But every single night
Yeah.
of those 3 months, I had a dream of me fucking up at 5 because of the noise. Because of the noise
Damn.
every night.
That's a long time to have to wait also.
3 months.
Yeah, that's a long time to like. So people have so much time to write articles. They're like, they've proofread it 5 times because they had so much time.
You have no idea, bro.
That's crazy. Different world.
The other day you posted that this year for Christmas I'd like a new president.
Damn your researcher, man. Gonna get me in trouble, bro.
So what kind of president are you hoping for? Like,
I don't know. Someone who does stuff.
he fired a public protector the other day.
Oh, come on. They hired a Bruno as the Minister of Education to tell us things we know already. The guy spent the last 3 months going, yo, Kshubile. We're like, I think we know. I've got a candle on. Like, this idiot. Let's try it out. It's so disrespectful because, like, even I know everyone's spoken about this, but you know when they were like, the coal is wet.
Yeah.
Then you're like, surely someone could just build like a lapa or, you know, like...
Yeah, there's always a guy who can come up with a solution.
Like, what are you talking about? So sometimes it just felt like we're being treated like children with a lot of the like country's issues. And I think what was mad is that in the pandemic, our president was chatting to us all the time. Then when things opened up, it was like, these guys, you'll figure it out. Shop, McKenna.
Dude, you almost feel like he checked out.
Yeah. He dipped. You're like, when else did you see my man?
No, you almost feel like he checked out or he was forced to. You know when you are 2 and you're part of the nativity at your primary school. But you've got anxiety.
Yeah.
Or you don't like the play anymore. But you're backstage, and then they push you onto stage, and now all of a sudden, that's what he feels like now. Feels like he's been pushed back on stage.
You know?
It's like, oh shit, I guess I must continue.
I think also the presidency, it feels like one of those things people sell to you.
Yeah.
Like, then they bamboozle you. Then you get there, you're like, Mara Makenga, you didn't say that. Every day.
So I must do this every day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What about my cows, guys? My buffalo?
Oh, it's bizarre. It is so bizarre. So I don't know. I think like, man, some new leadership is tricky. I did enjoy Julius at FMB.
Yes.
Because they had like pyrotechnics on the stage.
It was a whole production.
It was fire.
It was a whole... In fact, it almost felt like I was at a major league concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah. and I'm sure those twins, I'm sure they sent him notes. It's like, see, because they've got those voices.
No comment. I'm hearing this for the first time.
See, why don't we get Big Jack? We'll call it a Mojak because it's a Big Jack.
Good Lord.
Check you up there.
I loved it. I was like, this is the greatest theater piece I've ever seen.
That was rock and roll, bro.
Dope.
That was rock and roll.
You know, but people were panicking. They were worried. People are always worried about the EFF, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's a real concern.
Yeah.
I don't think they win enough of the votes just yet that there's anything to really be considered. But I do think they've got some really great principles. I think we're kind of waiting to see how they can enact them. And the true mark of any real democracy is when the ruling party has someone that can really challenge it. And I think the DA has lost. They just, damn, man.
But you speak DA English, so you saying they mustn't call you?
Nah, what is DA English? That's wild. That's you guys are acting like you're acting like my teacher was Tony Leon. That's crazy.
You don't speak like that.
I do all the time. Don't do that. Fresh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, I'm fully...
Because you say it fast,
Yeah.
we can tell that you're making it up.
What do you mean?
Because it's supposed to be, don't do that.
Yeah, but-
and the that.
Yeah, but
That's how you say it.
No, okay.
So we can tell you're an imposter.
When did you guys start letting linguistics on the show? What's going on? What other professions are you hiding from?
We're here to teach you, bro.
I support it. I'm here for it.
You know what I mean? Because obviously the gigs are going to start coming in.
Yes.
And all the parties are going to try and book as many people as they can.
Okay.
So you need to be able to answer the phone accordingly, depending on who's calling you.
Oh, really?
Exactly. That's why I'm teaching you even just the inflections on that.
I can't do like those kind of gigs.
Yeah.
I can't do like...
So you've never done a political
I
gig?
haven't. No, I don't think so. Not knowingly.
But have you ever been called for one and you turned it down, though?
No, I don't think that's actually funny. I'm acting like they've been calling.
Exactly.
On their radar.
Awesome. Yo, bitches and your shit. Like someone is asking you out.
Those girls. The girls aren't going to tell for no hoes. And there's like 13 dudes around him.
No one's calling you. Like, yeah, bitches and your shit.
Yeah, man, I don't like sports cars because you ain't got the money for it, bro. You bought a second-hand Corsa. Shut up.
Like, you don't like any car. You can't afford it.
Yeah, he's like, you counting the change in the taxi, has me night. Stop.
So you get a call to do a political gig.
Yeah.
Would you turn it down?
I think I might have to, man.
Why?
I just think it's
work.
compromise. I know, I'm just torn about that kind of stuff. I think family-wise, we've, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not against artists who do it. I support whatever choices people make. And if you align yourself to various parties, that's cool too. I just think...
But what if you're aligning yourself to work and nothing else?
That's my party, the W.
Because for me, that's what it is. I mean, it's work.
That's funny.
Just don't ask me to wear your party colors.
Yes.
But I will do the gig, though.
That's funny. I vote D.O. Debit O.
Debit or...
Every month I vote D.O. Hey, man, look, get your paper. I'm not mad at anybody. Look, I respect it. I think there's honor in work. I'm just always worried about being aligned with a particular party sensibilities. But look, every check comes with something.
Yeah.
If we must be honest, every check comes with a little bit of, propaganda. I'm telling you, every check's got a little bit of,
Dude, I'm seeing artists who are doing gigs for all the parties that call them.
I mean, I guess. Maybe,
You know what I
that's
mean?
the solve, right?
And I mean, if you're a big popular culture figure in the country, you will get called by all the parties to do their gigs.
Yes.
And I say, take the money, dog.
Fair, yeah.
Take the money. Tomorrow there'll be another pandemic and you'll be stuck with, I should have taken these gigs. I should have done this. I should take the money.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
The difference is taking the mic for me personally.
Oh, interesting.
And saying,
Yes.
vote for this party.
I feel
Because the minute you nail your colors on a mast,
Yeah.
then you are saying to the others that I'm not open for business.
I see what you're saying.
I say, hold yourself. Go out there, make your money.
Make your paper. No, I'm not support. Look, vote Dio. That's our new part.
The debit order will never let you down because every month it's there.
It's a lot.
So you did a show around the passing of your pops.
Sort of, yeah.
2002. Tell us about your pops just before we go this.
So I think the show we're referencing, I actually just came back from now doing in Makanda.
Yes.
My pops passed away in 2020. He was like a teacher, political activist. I mean, a lot of my political learnings are from him. I remember when I was when I was in high school, one day my dad gave me for a birthday, Communist Manifesto and Sol Phenduka.
How old were you?
I was 16 and I'm like, bro, I need a new FIFA. I was like, what am I going to do about...
Where's Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
You know what I mean? I'm reading about the bourgeoisie and the proletarian. I'm just trying to play Metal Gear Solid, No, but my pops is dope in that regard. And he supported us in terms of teaching us about political history. He always believed in reading literature.
Yeah.
But also a lot the fun stuff. I did have the video games and all of that experience. But basically in 2020, he passed away. And I think for the last couple of years, we've all been dealing with some form of grief.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes in regards to people that we've lost. Sometimes in regards to opportunities we've lost.
Dude, the 3 years we lost to COVID.
Yeah, and then I think one of the even harder ones is the ones who've lost versions of themselves.
Oh, yes.
And they're mourning a past version of them. And so in this show that I've worked on now, I was talking about the experience of kind of mental health in general, of like how even in schools they don't teach us like how to navigate it, and that's why people maybe drink when they're really young and like. And so anyway, at a certain point in the show, I do start talking about my dad and the grief and what that experience is like, and it was the first time I'd really kind of spoken about it, and being on tour now with Dylan Oliphant, it's been quite fascinating because he's been talking about his mom passing.
Oh yes.
And he's been able to do it in such a way that we acknowledge his passing, so does he. And then he still makes us laugh at certain bits.
Oh,
So he really cuts that tension, you know.
Yeah.
So,
But Dylan is talented at that level.
yes,
Yes.
he can do that.
That
you know?
you can feel sorry for him and laugh at him at the same time.
Yeah, and I think these are really difficult topics, and in the hands of the wrong person. Hey, bro.
It's like giving a child a machine gun.
Hey, we could leave depressed at the show. Just like, hey, you know what? I don't want to live anymore. But luckily, he's got that acumen.
Yeah.
I was still kind of figuring out what the show's about, but broadly, it's about mental health.
Yeah.
It's about navigating the world where I don't think we feel necessarily supported. It's like, you know, I always ask people like, where did you find out about sex, for instance?
Yeah.
And a lot.
Where did you find out?
So in my show, I go like, you know, my sex education was like Emmanuel.
Oh wow.
Because like who else? Because in school there was a person who was like, they brought a banana and they were like.
But were you one of those youth that finished the lotion, or you went?
No, that's not what. Whoa.
Or you went bare.
That's not what I said. There's someone out there who only had camphor cream. Let's pray for them because there must have been.
Yeah, but it's tingly, man.
Okay, no, you know what? You're distracting me. That's not.
With camphor, I'm sure camphor gives you that. Do I need to take penicillin film or not?
I've just lost my camphor cream endorsement. I could have had a brand deal with camphor cream.
There's a slight ban, but
there are people watching like, I know exactly what it's talking about.
it's not a ban, it's a tingle. And it's when it tingles that you know it's working.
I don't know how we got here. I made a terrible mistake.
Unless you use your left hand, it might feel like someone else.
Stop! And this is my point. This is my point. Like, who teaches us about like having positive sexual experiences?
And when do you realize, like you're saying though, that okay, if I use Dawn.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, Fresh. No, I'm...
You know, in the boarding, I was at boarding school.
Yes, okay.
And we used to wake up early so that we could get the hot water.
Fair.
And I remember in grade 9, woke up early, and I found one of the senior boys actually knocking one out.
Yes.
But he was using a roll of toilet paper.
What?
So he'd put his shit in a toilet roll.
What?
Yes. And it's one of the older kids.
Okay.
So I'm traumatized that
of course you are.
He's put his shit in a toilet roll.
Yeah.
But I've walked in on a dude playing with himself.
Yes.
Like, I just want hot water, dude.
It wouldn't be funny if you're like, hey, Tal?
Also, which brand is that?
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Yeah, so dude was using, like I said, a roll, like obviously toilet paper's finished.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a trauma.
Yes.
Because no one has ever told me you can use that shit.
Look, to everybody watching, don't try this. Can we put a disclaimer on our screen? But
also because he was one of the big older guys.
Yes.
So for the rest of his 2 years there, I'm wondering what he's wondering when he sees me. Does he want to moor me?
Oh, like seeing you in the corridor.
Whenever we meet, it was always awkward for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we never actually had a talking relationship generally. But after that, we never had a talking relationship.
Oh, wow.
But I'm thinking it's because I walked in on him.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I'm sure in his mind he's wondering, did he tell other kids?
Yeah, I would have moved schools.
I was so scared of him. It's the first time I talk about it.
Really?
First time I ever talk about it.
That is wild. That is like insane.
So fuck yeah, don't walk in on senior boys.
Is that going to be the takeaway of this conversation? Don't walk in on people jerking off. That's not even what I was talking about.
So is your show, are you done with the run though?
I'm not. Basically, I think I want to pivot towards a theater style show.
Okay.
And so obviously that's going to require me to start building sets and playing with lightings and what I think I did.
And spend money. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, spend the money. But I
that
think
cough was the debit order.
soon as you said money, my body was like, eh.
Yeah, David was like,
Pick one, bro. But I think what I need to do for the show is like build a set and have like cues and play with lighting and I think it exists in a very different space to all the other stuff I've done before.
Sure.
And so it's gonna need time for me to develop it. And I think I'll bring it back. I was gonna do a run at the Bioscope, but as it stands, we're doing another 3-hander called Talk That Shit.
Okay.
Which I'm excited about. We're bringing that back.
So it's you and?
It's myself, Lindy Johnson, Shanri van Veek. And the first half of the show we do stand up, then the second, but all three of us are on stage kind of just talking current affairs and like...
And that is dope.
It's so much fun.
Like those kind of conversations on stage are so underrated.
It's so much fun. And you find out stuff about people where you're like, you did what in high school?
Yeah.
You used toilet paper? And then you're like, what? I thought I knew you, bro. It's crazy.
So any place we can see you on stage over the next couple of weeks?
Next couple of weeks. We've got Blacks Only obviously coming up. That's early October, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
End of October, we are doing Talk That Shit. That's at the Bioscope, 44 Stanley. Tickets should go up pretty soon.
Okay, yeah.
We got a show we wrote for Netflix called Miseducation that drops, I think, September 15th. I wrote on that, episode 5, but watch all of them.
Okay.
I think that's really dope. And a couple of other things that are currently in production at the moment. So as it stands, that's what's going on.
Dude, fan of your work. I think you're a very intelligent comedian.
Thank you.
You know, it's one thing being funny, but you know, intelligence is not always sprinkled there by the good Lord.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I think you kick ass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm hoping those that don't know you or are finding out about you today will go out there and support your work, dude.
Appreciate that.
You
Yeah,
kick
so
butt.
much love. Thank you.
And I know you might or might not be shooting a TV series,
Hey, yeah.
a mini-series.
Can we cut now? Because this guy is going to... Come on.
So I know you might or might not be on our TV screens early next year. But dude, like I said, you kick ass.
There's a...
What?
no. There's another thing we made that
What?
it's going to come out... You know, okay, can I say something about television?
Yes, sir.
In TV, you'll shoot a thing in 2019, it'll come out in 2026.
And forget about it.
Yeah.
You've moved on.
Then they're like, what do you think about the character? Then you're like, who's the character?
Yeah. I ate the money 5 years ago. You're asking me about the character.
It's long gone.
Where do we find your social media, brother?
Mojak Lehoko on everything that's on Instagram, on X, Facebook. Follow my pages. And just holler at me there.
Mojak Lehoko. Remember that name. Google that name. But most importantly, support that name. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We get thanks.
Mojak has left the building.
Yo. Can you hear me? You listening to?
WAW. What a week.
Yeah, yo.
What a week.
Like a Protea beating Australia, or like a Bok wearing light blue, we're striding into this week with lots of confidence, even if nobody can see us in the dark due to load shedding. So if you have electricity and can see us, welcome back to Wow, What a Week. Our guest is in the building, someone who has quite a following, either as an individual or as a member of a famous podcast team. Some of the words associated with him are bold and brash and insensitive, and that's just when referring to his choice in hairstyles. Please give a wow welcome to Sol Phenduka.
Yeah, hey, I'm bold and brashy. Like, yeah, it's all crazy hairstyle. Man, miss you on the radio, bro. Like, whenever I hear you do a thing, I'm like, it's fresh.
Dude, I miss you on the radio.
Yeah, man. But I am on the radio.
No, as in I miss us on the
us
radio.
On the radio. Bro, the cost of radio, you know?
You know what I
do
miss?
these things sometimes.
I miss finishing a radio show with you and wondering how much shit we're in. And if I'm going to hear from management before 5 p.m.
And it's fine now.
That's actually what I miss.
I can control it now, you know? Hey, shy. To be young, man. Hey. It's
But
trouble.
Do you have any moments that you've looked back at and you were like, yeah, no, they were right. I shouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, a lot, man, a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember with the acting thing with that Stellenbosch family, that kid.
Oh, the Van Breeders.
Yeah, the Van Breeders.
Yeah.
Definitely, I remember that.
You were suspended for that.
Yeah, I was suspended like for a few days for that.
So
In
that
hindsight, you're like, oh man, damn.
So that's that suspension though. Like, what was going through your mind as it happened and after the suspension? Did you understand, or did you feel like, "Hey, guys, what's the big deal?"
No. I then I was like, what's the big deal? But
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh shit, I understand, you know? Because you're much younger then, and now you're just older, a bit mature, and you realize not everything you come up with should be out there, you know?
Yeah, not everything you think
Yeah.
should be consumed.
Yes, not everything, exactly. So, yeah, man, no, definitely.
I sometimes listen to promos of the breakfast show I did at YFM,
Yeah?
and I cringe that we said that on radio
See,
and we got away with it.
back then, it
Dude, I remember-
wasn't so sensitive.
I remember Tato got suspended for some anti-Semitic shit that he'd said. No, in fact, it wasn't suspension. He just got a rap over the knuckles
Yeah.
for some anti-Semitic shit. And I was like, Tato, what the fuck are you doing? You know, half of our media buyers are Jewish.
Yeah.
One, and two, you just don't say shit like that.
They should have punished them and made him wear thingy, a uniform to work because it's Jewish. I'm do that. But you're too young, bro. You make those mistakes. You know what I mean?
You see, but
And
because...
YFM was
Yeah.
that platform then, so you guys could even get away with it sometimes.
But also, because he'd said some anti-Semitic shit,
Yeah.
there was a time we're talking about clothing. And the nickname for clothing is Jewish.
Jewish, yeah.
So the minute he mentioned Jewish, we got another complaint. But we had to explain to them that no, Jewish means
Jewish,
clothing.
yes,
but
yes,
but
good
but,
clothing.
but that's what happens though.
Like-
when people start associating you with certain things,
Yeah.
you can't say anything.
No, you can't.
And then for some reason, the good Lord for the last 25 years has made sure I work with people who put me through anxiety and wondering if I'm going to be suspended.
But don't you think
So
you
thank you,
attract
guys.
them because you also you love the boldness and the pushing and going to the edge of it as well. That you also attract these people,
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've always been that guy.
and you also that guy.
Will take it to the edge
Yeah.
of the precipice. And then, you know, you meet a young guy who wants to be on air with you. That I don't know if it's because they want to impress you or they're just more fucked than you are.
With me, it was just I'm fucked. Since YFM, with me it was just that's how I am.
Dude, I fell in love with you on my More Flavor show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be taking my kids to school and I'd make sure I'm tuned into you guys.
Wow, bro.
And then when you left to go do Big Brother,
Yes.
I literally stopped listening to the show because for me, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same because you guys had become this duo.
Yeah.
It's almost like Mansfield with, what's his name?
Yeah, everybody there. That Choffy guy.
No,
Wackhead.
and Wackhead. So for instance, it took me a while.
Even the team.
It took me a while to get used to Wackhead being a host. Because I was so used to him being Scottie Pippen and
Yeah,
Mansfield is Jordan.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And those assists always worked. So it took me a while to get used to that.
Even me, it'll take me a while when I do my own shows because generally I've always been paired up and partnered with people.
Yeah.
Because coming into the game, you always want to be a host.
You still want your own shit. Yeah.
Yeah. When you come in, you want to be, a host, and then you get in. It's like wanting to be on the team. And then there's no space as a striker, and you're a striker.
Sure.
And you need to be a defender, a goalie, or a midfield. And that's the position. Then, like, Lucas Kate was a goalkeeper kind of thing,
Oh, and go Pop Sol.
Eh?
Go Pop Sol. Pop Sol was the Botswana Soccer League.
Yes, Lucas
Yes,
Kate is a goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
So it was not one of those goalkeeper good on their feet, so he could be a sweeper as well. And then I think at some point there wasn't space for him there, or maybe he was just good at that other position. So if it does ever happen, people will still find it very weird as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your childhood, my dude.
Yeah, damn.
Take us back to day one. Where were you born?
Shucks. Born, not that I was there, and I was there, I don't
I
remember.
was going to say, what the fuck is this? You were there.
Not that I can remember. Find out I was not there.
You're so used to being suspended. You probably gave birth. Your mother gave birth and they're like, we're suspending this child.
With the umbilical cord, suspending him by the roof.
It's like, nigga, I'm taking my umbilical cord out of here.
I suspend myself from the ceiling. Yeah, man. Born my mom was staying in Katlehong, born in, funny enough, in one of the hijacked buildings today called the Florence. Back then it was called Florence Nightingale Hospital. You probably know it. Like as you pass Constitution Hill, driving into Hillbrow, it's the first building. In fact, it's on today's front page of The Citizen.
Jeez, okay. So you were born there?
That's one of the hijacked buildings. Yeah. Then it turned into apartments. They called it the Florence, and then eventually it's what it is. It's Mnyamandao by street terms. 87 was a hospital back then. Funny enough, a lot of us actually were born there around those times. I don't know if they were donating space to black people or what, to have a decent...
So you can come into town, but just here.
Come into town, give brother, fuck off. Go back to Katlehong. Crazy. That's where I was staying. And then 91, that's where I lived, Katlehong. 91, my old lady bought a house, go for slow. And that's where we moved when I was 4. Broke up with my dad, and she bought her own place. And been there since 94, since like matric and varsity.
So mom broke up with dad when? How old were you?
I think, to be a kid is messed up because then we were living in a very small place. And now when I think, I'm like, but I think they were having sex because I would hear the sounds, right? And when I was a kid, I thought he's beating up my mom.
Oh, shit.
So now that they broke up...
beating.
No. When they broke up, I'm thinking, was it domestic violence? Because I was 4, so I can't remember much, but we moved out 91.
Sure.
But I think they had problems maybe even before 91, but moved out 91.
Okay, but your memory is not sure if what you heard was sex or GBV.
Yeah, still. Still not sure, But I've never asked my mom that.
Yeah.
And also, I can't ask my dad. Well, I can, but I hardly talk to my dad to be even comfortable to ask about that. Yeah, because there's so much. It's like, imagine.
Trainers left.
Yeah, it's like, hey, son, I'm like, hey, I forgive you for being a bad father. Yeah, dad, no problem. Let's talk about you and your mom then. What was that? Yeah. So, yeah, but they did have problems in the 91. So they either had problems with my 90 or 89, and then my mom begazelled until she bought her own home. Yes. And then we moved out.
So was this the home that she left you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Later, when she passed away in 2005. We lived in that home since then. Till then.
But what conversations were you guys having about the fact that now dad is not in the picture? Did you guys ever talk?
We weren't.
Yeah.
I wasn't having, because I won't lie, man. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, maybe, but I didn't grow up with that big void of no dad.
She showed up and she...
Yes. Yeah. Because also with my dad, we were never that close. And I try with my daughter to be her dad first and then a friend after. With my dad, it was just, oh, he's my dad. But without memories, of the only fond memories I have of him is him having me on his shoulders,
Yes.
Walk. Yeah. That I remember, because you're like, damn, this is how it is to be tall and you're seeing everything.
Yeah, there is.
It's like when you're in the bus for the first time as a kid and everything that you thought was big, like the cars are now small. But we never really had a lot of moments like that. So when we moved, I didn't feel much, and there was never that void. And also, because, like I said, I think they may have had problems way before 91. So it was always just tense, and he was just that guy, he wasn't unfriendly with me, but I don't remember him being, like affectionate, yes. So there wasn't that gap, and my old lady showed up, and I don't know, maybe I'm built slightly different, but I never really. He was my hero. I won't lie, for the longest time, but I was scared of him. And what would happen also is, because my mom went to church just up the road, literally. Every time she went to church on Sundays, I would then go see my dad. So still, there was not that void. I think mainly because of that.
Did she know you went to see him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't...
Like, you go to church, I go to see my dad.
Okay.
It was literally that. It wasn't me sneaking out of church. Yeah. It was literally, okay, you do this thing, I'm going to my dad.
I went to dad,
Yeah, literally. And and every Sunday I would see him, he got me my first bicycle. So there was somewhat of a relationship there till I got slightly older when my grade 6, grade 7. Then I realized, he doesn't want to contribute to the fees. He's saying to my mom, why do you take that child there and not to a township school? Why must I pay this? Why must I do that? Why? And to me, I found that a bit problematic. You know, because
it is problematic.
him as my hero, I'm thinking you'd do anything for me. Just like I'm a kid. Not that there's anything I can do, but I would do anything for you as well. And I expect that reciprocity, you know, to happen. And I was like, whatever, man.
How did it make you feel, though, finding out that dad doesn't want to contribute, doesn't want, you know, to step up?
Because my mom never said, oh, sorry, kid, we need to take you out of this school because your dad doesn't want to pay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you like these shoes? Sorry, you need to get these ones because...
Do not stars.
Yeah, you want all stars. We need to get to Kayo stars because your dad doesn't want to pay for the all stars. I didn't really feel any kind of way as a kid because I had a lot of things and the affection, the love and everything. But it hurt though, you know. It hurt and it was disappointing as well. That, damn, for real? But when I see him, we're fine.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to, and it made things worse when later my mom passed away. Then I got to see, you know, her, salary advice. You know what I mean? The pay slip. And I was like, damn, you did all of this with that? Now I understand why, you know, you tried going to the family court route. Now I understand why you would, you know, sometimes should just be defeated, man. Sometimes you know what I mean? You should express the frustration. And as a kid, you're thinking, what did I do? You know, what's going on? And then you understand when you much older. Yeah, but yeah, man, it hurts, you know? It hurts because here's this guy, he's always been your hero. And you at times when your mom says certain things, you're too young to understand, and you think, she's just being a mom. But when you grow up, you realize.
Things like what? Things like what?
No, things like, you know, your dad doesn't want to do X and Y and Z. Your dad doesn't even send a cent. And she never, ever, ever, ever denied me access to seeing my dad. Sure. You know what I mean? And my dad also, because he could see, she has it under control, he never said, hey, let him come live with me. And also, we were better off because we're literally in a shack with my dad. So I was better off with my mom anyway. Sure. So those attempts were never made. Till I said, I don't want to go anymore. Then I was like, I'm actually going to church. Yeah. I'm not going to my dad now. I'm just going to church, you know. Absent father, but our Father art in heaven is always there, right? Yeah. So I prefer that I'll start going to church and not going to see him. But we cool though. But I haven't spoken to him in a minute. He's got other kids that I talk to. In fact, bumped into one who stays in Hillbrow now. Yeah. Long after I've moved out.
Did he move into your old place?
Literally, the year I moved out, I think he was there. Yeah. And I was like, hey, bro, can you sign? He was like, hey, man. Because he saw him. I see this guy coming. I'm like, who's that? I'm like, oh, damn, can you sign?
Do you guys look alike?
He's a skinny version of me. Okay. Yeah. We slightly look alike, but he's very small, but tall. Yeah. But yeah, man. So, yeah, there's a relationship. There's no relationship per se with him, but we cool. I tried to build it. It didn't really work. Sure. I think I'll try again. Hopefully, not too late because he's also like in his 70s.
Oh yes. Yeah.
70s, yeah, 70s. Hey, 80s possibly. 80s possibly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how old is he.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Damn, bro. Hold on.
Are you searching through your memory bank?
First time hold on.
Take your time. It's a podcast. We don't have to go to that.
Was it when you came to give us a lecture in the Y Academy?
First time we met was at your high school, dude.
Oh, shit, yes!
When you were a rapper.
Yeah, so we won. So you guys had a competition.
On Unrestricted Breakfast on YFM. And we had a schools challenge. Yeah. And kids could win an opportunity for myself and Tato to come to your school and bring them lunch and hang out a bit. Yeah, go assembly. You guys were there, you spoke. That's the first time I met you. So after the whole, you guys talked to us and then we come out for autographs. It wasn't the selfie era then. Yes. Autograph era. There were no camera phones. In fact, if you had a camera phone, you probably had a Sony Ericsson P910. or thereabouts.
Yes,
but
this was
your average kid didn't have.
2004,
Yeah.
2003, 4. I was in grade 9.
You're a rapper though. At the
Yeah, and yeah.
And I think I signed your book of rhymes.
Yeah, send my book around. So I had, those black books with the black cover, the hard books.
Yes.
And then I'd write rhymes on it, do some artwork, but mostly it was rhymes. And then when it was finished, I'd take another one, remove the bottom cover, remove the upper cover from the other one, sellotape it together somehow. And I think it was 3 of them. It was this thick. And you signed that book.
Absolutely.
You and Tatu, both of you. Yes, that was the very first time I ever met you and saw you, and you signed that book.
What kind of rhymes were you writing in the book? Do you remember any of those rhymes?
I don't.
You're lying.
I'm serious. I don't. I know a lot of guys used to rap.
Were they that bad?
You know why?
Yeah.
You know this. I used to be bad at remembering lyrics.
Yeah.
Right? So even with my recording sessions, I'd literally read the stuff while rapping and flowing to it. That's how I became so good of a freestyler.
Oh, yes.
Back then. So I never really used to remember a lot of my lyrics. I swear to God, my closest friends even know. Yeah, I never used to. But I was listening to a lot of Cannabis, the rapper, and then a lot of other underground stuff. So it was really underground gibberish mostly. It wasn't anything. I wasn't actually make nice me like Reason in high school. I wasn't that kind of rapper. No, I was more of the morbid, weird rapper.
What happened to your rap career?
Beats happened.
Yeah.
Fruity Loops happened. FL Studio. So I got Fruity Loops from a friend of mine in high school, and then I started making beats more. Yeah. And that took most of my time. And with rap, because I was more of a freestyle battle rapper, you practice. You need to practice. And I stopped and just really lost interest in rapping, but still listen to rap.
Sure. So, right about the same period, Mom passes away.
05, yes.
Yeah, so about a year later, Mom passes away after we met.
Yeah, 2 years later, maybe, yeah.
Take us through that period of losing Mom.
It was weird, man. It was strange, Like I said, moved away.
So what, you were 17, 18 at the time?
87, 05, 18.
You're 18, yeah.
Yeah, 18. So I finished school at 19 because my mom took me when I joined a white school. I wasn't really good enough to be in grade 2, and they took me back to grade 1.
Were you not good enough, or it was an English thing?
It was an English thing.
Yeah, it was.
Good enough is English. English thing.
Exactly.
It's part of being good though, as well, right?
Not necessarily. Kids learn fast, and sometimes just leave a kid there.
But sometimes
they learn fast.
Kill the kids' esteem when, as smart as they are, they feel like that light is now getting dimmed, and by the English, and then the confidence takes a knock. Then you can't really make friends. Kids are not.
So now you're breaking English a grade lower because you're still breaking the English.
Yeah, a grade lower. Well, others, but they were not there. They weren't breaking the English there. But I was just, it was less funny in grade 1,
Oh, yeah.
But it would be funny in grade 2, like, this one. Yeah. There's this one now. So yeah, man. So I finished school at 19.
So you just reminded me.
Yeah.
Grade 1, grade 2, grade 1. The English was still not Englishing properly.
Yeah.
And we, after, before assembly, or before class register, you have to queue up.
Yeah.
You have to queue up and go in single file to your class.
Yeah.
And there's a kid, we had a love-hate relationship, Christopher. And I remember Christopher was walking past and I tripped him. I tripped him and he fell. And our sports teacher, he was like an okay, comes and he asks me, "Did you do that on purpose?" Because I acted surprised when Christopher fell, but I tripped him.
Yeah.
But because my English
deliberately.
Yeah, it was deliberate.
Yeah.
But my English was not Englishing, and in Setswana, poso is a mistake.
Yeah.
So when he said, "Did you do it on purpose?" I thought, yeah, poso. So I looked for the Setswana warfare. So I was like, yes.
Poso.
And he grabbed me by my ear. Grabbed me by my ear. And took me me to the front. You know?
Possibly. Oh my goodness.
So I know exactly what it feels like when the English is not English.
Yeah.
And sometimes it lets you down.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it lets you down because your reference is African languages.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's how I got into trouble with my English, not English.
Oh, flip, yeah. So that's what happened. So when my mom passed away, we'd always been just, very close.
Yeah. What happened
but
to
she was
mom,
strict.
if you don't mind me asking?
She was diabetic.
Yeah.
She was diabetic and eventually lost, the battle with diabetes.
Was it clear that I'm going to lose my mom?
No.
Or did it happen all of a sudden?
As kids, any kid will tell you, whenever you lose your mom, whether you're 18, 15, if you're still a kid,
Yeah.
you are also, it's your mom, it's your dad. If it's a parent, you are very subjective. Be it they're sick, you never want to be realistic enough with the reality that this person may be gone.
Sure. So my parents,
Right.
I'm going to bury my parent
Yeah.
when they're much older.
So you never, ever, ever see it. She was, and I think she was strong because I never see her weak till she was in hospital. Then I saw her like, damn, okay, this thing is a bit serious. But I never also thought, right? And no one came to say, prepare for the worst.
Yes.
And I prefer it that way. No one having come to me and say, prepare for the worst. So I never really prepared for the worst.
So how long was she in hospital for?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, roughly. 2 weeks. She was resisting going. She wasn't good for like maybe another week or two prior.
Yeah.
And eventually, she was 2 weeks, roughly, about 2 weeks. And yeah, man, the ICU for like 3 days when things really got bad, and then she was gone. But it was losing her, man. It's still, I don't know, man. It was weird, Till today, there's always that void and pain, but
Who told you mom is gone?
that's why it was weird. That's why it was weird. Is this how it happened? So I go to the hospital. Now I'm like, in grade 11. I use taxis to go to school because, normally you use the transport, the bus.
Sure.
And I was dropping off at the taxi rank. And then there's a private hospital in Forsley called Butsilong, a clinic's hospital.
Sure.
And that's where she'd be. It was literally a walk away. I'd walk. And one time I get there, she's been moved, to the ICU. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I get there, I see her, but she wasn't speaking then. She couldn't speak. Her eyes were closed, but I talked to her, and then a tear.
Do you remember what you said to her?
I can't. Honestly, I can't because I think one of her friends was also in the room.
Sure.
So when you're a
not
kid,
the friend you once had a crush on.
eh?
Not the
No, not that.
Oh,
The one that sniffed her seat. Whenever she come home. Hey. No, that one. Oh, not that one. No.
Guys, Sol had a crush on his mom's friend.
Sniff it.
How old were you at the time in high school, right?
Oh, it started like when I was in primary, like when I was 13, 14,
And she'd visit Sol's mom, and then whenever she'd leave, Sol would go and sniff her seat.
And it smelled good, I won't lie. It wasn't foul. Like, it wasn't a foul smell. It was a very clean lady, Very clean.
Sorry,
Remember that story, yeah?
I'm still disturbed.
So, yeah. So, I can't remember because also I think there was an audience. So, I'm like, hey, man, and I was a kid. I should have just asked them, guys, just leave,
Sure.
But it was just how much she means to me and how much I love her. Then I remember a tear, just dropped as her eyes were closed from the one eye. So I was like, oh, damn, that's a good speech I gave her. She's crying, cool.
Yeah.
And then I leave, go home. when I get home, so my granny had now moved in. She maybe had a 4 days or so in staying with me because my mom is sick, so I'm obviously used to just living with my mom. She then stepped in. So now I'm home, my granny's not there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm chilling, I'm doing my homework. And then the phone rings, right? Pick up, it's my cousin, Katlego. Yeah, well, so I'm like, yo, bro, in my normal voice. Yo, bro, what's going on? What's up? He's like, yeah, man, what's up? I'm like, I'm good. Talking to him, what's going on? He's like, oh, I just want to say sorry, man, for your loss.
Jeez.
So I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? What loss?
Yeah.
And I'm genuine, like I'm in the dark. What loss? I was like, your mom. Then I remember, like, I hung up. Don't know if I smashed the phone, but I was just, tears, and I was just started gushing out, and man, cried on the floor. So at home we've got like rooms outside, and we're tenants there. And I remember, I think they came to ask for something, but they'd heard my crying, just wailing and stuff. And I think they wanted to see if I'm okay, you know. But they asked for something, and my eyes were bloodshot red, obviously, and they left. And then later on, then I called my best friend's It's like, yo, man, my mom just passed away, you know. Then he came through. So my granny was not around, and my granny had come back, I think, with one of my uncles. And so my granny is like, geez, why are you crying? Why are you crying? What's wrong with you, man? What the fuck? Come on, snap out of it, right? Because she had gone to the hospital.
And mom was still fine then?
Mom was fine. Then she left the hospital. And then Katlego and his side of the family, his mom and aunt, granny, his granny, came. And when they came, they said they family.
Sure.
So then the doctors told them that, yo, she just left us.
We just lost her.
Yeah, we just lost her. No, Katla was not there, in fact. So then they called the rest of the family, telling them that, not asking, does the son know? Does her mom know? Does her son know? Then he calls me. I remember my granny had the longest beef with him for the longest time. So that's how I found out. Very weird.
Yeah.
Then when she came, told me, why are you crying? Everything is fine, whatever. Then I'm like, no, but I just got a call saying my mom just passed away. She's like, no, nonsense. I left her. She's fine. Now I'm like, huh? And then no one ever bothered to come tell me and say, hey, she's actually gone. And then the next thing I'm hearing my mom's friend organizing, calling the undertaker, organizing things. And I had to conclude in that manner because I was super convinced, maybe because I wanted to be convinced that no, she's not gone. So yeah, it was a bit weird because with death, you always find it so difficult that, damn, I'll never touch this person ever again. And it's just so weird.
How final it is often surreal.
It's surreal, bro.
It's over?
It's surreal. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, gone? I'll never smell her again, hear her voice, call my name again. Gone.
How drastic is that adjustment from, I live with my mom, she's my world, since I was 4 years old. Obviously not taking anything away from the time you spent with your dad.
Yeah.
But she's your world. You live with her. She's everything. She's literally gone to the ends of the earth to make sure you go to a good school.
Yeah.
To make sure that you live in a decently sized house.
Oh, definitely.
Where you have your own bedroom.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then she's gone. Tell us about that adjustment. And from that, because you were still in high school, right?
I was in grade 11.
Well, grade 11, yes.
Yeah. Just started grade 11.
So
February.
Adjusting from that, staying the course so you can pass metric and go into your life.
Bro, I'll be honest, man. I mean, I just don't know how because to me it was not like my world has ended now.
Yeah.
Because with her raising me, she'd always instilled a sense of independence.
Sure.
Sort of knowing that one day you'll be left on your own. You need to be able to do X and Y and Z. And certain things she forced me to. And also I matured emotionally very quick. I remember, because I'm the one who started using phrases like, I love you, and it was weird at first. I didn't get the response I thought I'd get. Even though I knew she loved me, had no question. I mean, everything she's done for me, how she just put me first. Like, it's a mother, the typical mother's love, So I knew that there's love. She loves me. She's my mom. But I started expressing that and made it very okay, for us to talk about that. My frustrations of her sending me back because I didn't know English. I used to be frustrated for the longest time about that. And we spoke so much that when she was gone, I still longed for her, but my world wasn't coming down. Because I think sometimes it's because of there's things that were unsaid, that were unspoken, and we're overwhelmed by that. It was the readjusting was tough, but it was, I don't know, man. It was never. Some people, that loss can be crippling.
Yeah.
You fail school. I mean, I know someone, my ex. I remember
you fall into a depression. You want to do nothing.
Yes.
It's debilitating.
I was never like that. Funny enough, man. Like, I was never, ever like, I want to take my life. It's over now. Because she instilled a sense of, and maybe because she also was an independent person, very from a young age. Always just did her own things, her own way. To a certain degree, I don't see my mom having a husband and being a wife, man, because she was so, and I know that there's a guy who tried that, but she was just so used to just being on her own, and she
did she tell you she was dating?
Raised me with a part of that.
Did she tell you she was dating the type?
Oh, it's her house. It's her house.
So you just saw a dude in the house?
Yeah. Oh, let me say a dude in the house. Like, hey, you think they're friends because you never want to think that. You know what I mean? Till the one day you come back, it's a Sunday, mom is cooked, and you're hungry, you coming back from play, and she takes a while to open, she opens, and then as you go to your room, pants on the floor.
Yeah, nah.
I saw the car, I'm thinking this guy's, they chilling, you know what I mean? That's when
Like discussing the service at church.
Yeah, it's a different service, and I was like, shit. I was like, damn. I was like, So I did meet a boyfriend or two.
Yeah.
I think it was, maybe 3.
Sure.
My entire life, maybe 3. Gabriel, no, 2. No, Gabriel, Kaiser, and Tabo. You know what I mean? But obviously, I mean, this is...
So how did you relate with these uncles?
Yeah?
How did you relate with these
The one, Tabo used to give cash, like a lot.
Yeah.
Then Gabriel used to, like, own a workshop, a car thingy workshop. He was okay, quiet guy, very chilled, quiet guy. Tabo, amazing guy. The one tried to be my dad. That was a problem.
Like discipline you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, what time is it? What about this cut? I'm like, dude, say hi, don't even know the inside of your house. Telling me what about this cut. Say hi, I'm king here, dude. You know what I mean?
So did you tell mom though that?
I did. I was like, yo, I don't like this guy, man. Like, who's he to? And my mom knows I was a very respectful kid, but I was like, I don't like this guy. Why is he gonna ask me? I come back at 7.
Yeah.
Why is he asking me what time it is if I come back at 7:30?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and who was he? In fact, like, and I was still young then. It was like the first boyfriend,
Sure.
And I was still young, so my dad is still my hero. Who's that guy?
Telling me I'm late.
Telling me, you never even tell me I'm late. Me on a Friday. Because Friday you can come back at 8, maybe 9. If you tell your mom I'm around,
exactly.
We're just playing with the kids.
But you go home at 9 only because you don't want to miss studio mix.
Yeah.
Otherwise you stay out.
Honestly, both my bad. I wasn't you then.
What year was this?
Oh man, this is like in the 90s. This is like 97.
It's Bob my band. I think I joined December 97.
Yeah. It was like 97.
Yeah.
So I remember some.
Yeah.
But even then, your mom doesn't say who this is, whatever. I don't know whether it's because she knows I'm not aware of what's going on, or she thinks I'm a kid. She doesn't answer to me, you know? So, yeah, but it wasn't like a lot of dudes. And yeah, it was just weird, man. But like, honestly speaking, bro, when she left, I don't know what it was, man, but I felt sad, but I didn't feel like my life has stopped and my life has now ended. And I was just lucky, bro. I won't lie, man. I know some kids really have it tough. Some want to take their lives, and it's difficult. It's a difficult period, but I handled it quite well. I won't lie.
You're a parent now.
Yeah.
Malaika?
Malaika Amani, yeah.
4 years old?
5.
5 now.
Yeah, 2018 born.
What are you doing differently in terms of raising her? And what have you taken from how you were raised that this will work also with my kids?
What will work is I'm a father before I'm a friend.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That I take from my mom. My mom was very strict. Like I said, there's certain things, even me, I wouldn't say to my mom. I don't like this guy in this house. I'll tell him I don't like him. He makes me uncomfortable. I'll never say he must never come here. Don't ever see him, because there was always the boundary, and I think boundaries are very, very important.
Okay.
Don't make your kids think you are just friends.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's a democracy.
It's not a democracy, guys.
Don't come here with your DA tendency.
Ramesh, don't you have no time pass? You'll be out now.
This is a revolutionary house.
Phenduka, the revolution. The revolutionary, it's a Phenduka home here.
Exactly.
It's a revolutionary home. Yeah, man. I think mostly that, you know, I took from my mom. Because, yeah, man, my kid, we're very close. And other things that I take from my mom, but I do the opposite, is speak to the kid, you know? They're more smarter than we think. You know what I mean?
No, they're people.
They are people.
And often we treat them as they're Popeye with
Yes.
You know.
Don't treat a kid like a Popeye. You know, speak like normally, like a normal person, because that's what they are. Yeah, man, I'm just there. You know, I try do the school. I can't do this the school drop-offs yet, obviously because of work. But I pick her up from school, which I never got, you know, picked up. I mean, my mom didn't. When she passed away, she was planning on getting a car. So all those small little things, you know, now she's going to be taking her first flight or flying, experiencing the world, and letting her be her and nurture her natural abilities, not pressure her to go a certain career path.
Sure.
And just
looking at the world we live in now.
Yeah.
With all that's happening on social media, with how it's almost okay now to almost sell yourself, as you see with a lot of girls.
Yeah.
What are your biggest fears for Malaika, given the world we live in right now?
I mean, my biggest fears, man, for her would mainly to, obviously we'll fear our kid, you know, getting involved, not even involved, getting dragged into things like, you know, human trafficked, all those things, right? Sure. But, and because sometimes they happen just like that, you know what I mean? She's somewhere, you're not there, taken, gone, all those things. But as far as things she can control, it's being
a slave queen.
Yeah, but also, to me, I'm like, she can't be because of how I'm raising her. Sure. You know, like that can't be an answer. Like,
can't be an option
for her.
It
can't be an option because of how I'm raising her. You know what I mean? Like, to be, I'm there for her, number one. I do not want her to grow up longing for love from a male figure. You know what I mean? Sure. What love looks like from a male figure. You know,
you want to cover that.
Yes, I'll cover that. You know, we go on dates, get her flowers. We could.
She must be excited by flying business class.
Yes,
because
thank you.
My dad has been doing that for me.
Yes, I've been flying business class. I've been flying a car, for example.
Yeah.
You know, all these things you try to provide for your kids so that they don't go out there looking for it. And with that said, I mean, in the minor numbers, but you do find girls who had all of those things who still grow up to be.
Absolutely.
Just like you find guys who come from backgrounds, they had everything and they still make their own life choices, right? But for me, that's that. And I don't want her to ever be in a position whereby a guy is a key to a good life, especially in her adult life, that a guy is the key, that she can't leave a guy because when she leaves
the guy is the financial plan.
yeah, it's the financial plan, it's the comfort plan. When she leaves someone, she will no longer be living soft.
True.
You know, I want to show her that she's brilliant and she can achieve and do whatever she wants to do. And I think I'm in the right position because, I mean, with what we do, it's fun for us, but it's also work. So when she gets in the car in the morning and hears me and she watches me and she gets to realize that is Dad's work, she then is in a position whereby the world is her oyster. She can explore whatever avenue of work she wants to explore. It's not that thing of, hey, I work in the mines. You need to be a doctor. You need to be a teacher. You need to wear a tie or this to work. You know what I mean?
Yo, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
What a week.
Yeah, so, you know, I just don't want to burden my child with me even living vicariously through her to do things I never did.
Sure.
So by me living my best life, it inspires her and she sees that it is possible to do whatever. I'll just be there to give her, to equip her to be able to navigate her route comfortably, you know, be it finances, the love, the outpouring of the love and spending time with her, knowing her, me being there, whether she needs a shoulder to cry on, she needs anything. And yeah, just being a good dad. I mean, we're all figuring it out, especially with the first kids, but I think I'm doing a good job. And she's brilliant. Oh, my kid is brilliant, man. I know everybody says that about.
I was going to say, everyone says that.
Like, no one said, my kid is dumb as fuck.
Your child will say aeroplane. It's like, my child is so brilliant. That's what you said was aeroplane.
No, my kid is brilliant. My kid is really like, she's amazing.
So she's like her dad then. She's brilliant. You're a brilliant dude.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I think she is. I think there she took more from me than her mom. But the
So you're saying her mom is dumb?
No, I'm smarter than her mom.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to believe. But her mom is actually a smart person.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else, it's like she took the best from her mom.
And the best from you.
The best from me, man. You know, like, because I was like, damn, I was like this as a kid.
Sure.
You know, she's super. Oh, man, she's going to be a force, that one. I swear to God.
So you went to UJ.
Yeah.
You graduated, right?
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay, so not really means what? You can't kind of be qualified.
No, I've got like a model or two, you know, to do, but I eventually didn't do it. I went to radio. I did the Y Academy.
Yeah.
So I just forgot about that. I didn't forget about it, but I just got so entrenched in the radio.
So YFM happened.
Third year I dropped out.
Yeah. YFM happened.
Yes.
Big Brother happened.
Yeah.
5FM happened.
Yeah.
And then things just go wrong.
Yeah.
Like things just go wrong.
Yeah. I had a huge gambling problem.
When did this happen, dude?
I've been, man. It happened like, oh, bloody hell.
Where were you gambling?
Since online.
Yeah.
I've covered this before, man. Online, bro. Like, it was...
No, this is for people who are watching this for the first time.
I hope you don't have like a sports betting thing because they're all over now with sponsorships and stuff, right?
Don't stress.
But I always say to people, it's not a bad thing, right? Just do it for fun. It's not a way of... So I got like I had like a lot of debt, you know? Because then you have to... I'm working as a student and then I leave and now you gotta... Things just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And I was done because I could have made so much cash outside of radio and doing my stuff. But it was a matter of just wanting, you wish you could just have like a lousy amount. Like, it's a lot of amount for a lot of people, but 100K is not a lot of money in the bigger scheme of things.
Is that how much you were chasing on this gambling spree you were on?
Not even. There was more. It was that at some point, but it became more.
How much did you win at the height of Oh shit!
180K.
You won 180K.
Yeah. Then I lost all of it. I lost all of it. It was like, I looked back, I was like, fuck.
So nothing said to you, take this 180K and pay your debts.
Nothing said that. You know why? Because it was like, oh fuck, if I could make this in 3 hours, shit. Maybe I can make more then, you know?
$1 million.
Yeah. It's like one of my dumbest moments. One of my dumbest ever moments. And I remember ever since that moment, I would be like, damn, I could have just sorted this thing out. But I realized I was so in too deep, I would have just sorted out and walk away. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I wouldn't have.
You had your mom's house. You had your Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
So what happened to those along this?
I stopped paying my insurance, and then I crashed my Mercedes Benz. And then because I didn't have insurance, it was a lot to fix.
Yeah.
And then the bank came knocking in. And when the bank came knocking, it was by a mechanic whom I bought my first car from.
Yeah.
Because I bought my first car cash that I then later crashed. And he had fixed it. So I bought it from like SMD, it was called back then.
Sure.
Where you'd buy these cars that had a bit of a knock and stuff. And then I was like, oh, I got a guy. And then when the bank called, I was like, oh yeah, go to that guy. Just pick it up from him, take it. I don't want it.
You didn't tell them it's not moving.
Yeah? No, it was moving.
Oh, was it moving already?
We were
Okay.
just waiting for payment.
Oh,
We were
yes.
just waiting, it was fixed. We were just waiting for payment. You know, shout out to Mohau from Soweto actually. And yeah, they took it. And then much later, I was like, okay.
Because when we did Breakfast at 5,
Yeah.
you'd often debate about selling mom's house.
Yeah.
And I used to always discourage you,
Yeah.
don't fucking sell mom's house. Little did I know that you're actually chasing $1 million.
Yeah. No, but then I wanted to pay it off. I wanted to pay off some debt.
Ah, yes.
I wanted to pay off some debt, which I did. Like today, I've paid off everyone. You know, everyone is paid off. I'm good.
Okay, so now you answer the phone even if it's hidden numbers.
Kidding. But I'm good. I sleep well at night.
Yes, sir.
It's the best place. You know?
So what happened to
And it
mom's
was
house?
great lessons. I sold it.
Yeah.
But I sold it for two reasons mainly, right? Financially was one of them. Mainly was financially. And also, I just didn't want to be in force.
Sure.
I didn't want to be around an environment where there's rumors going on around you. You know, there's people who are going to be like, yeah, Mohammed Benz, yeah, this. To me, I was never going to fully recover mentally.
Oh, yes.
Had I been in that environment, you know, and then there were the financial reasons, of course. Because someone else might say, well, you used to just rent it out, which I did for a minute. And then, yeah, I was like, just let it go. And I remember wanting to buy it back. And someone was like, nah, just let it go.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, actually, like, what am I going to do with
Mom's house, dog.
But she's passed on.
Still mom's house, dog.
No, but you see, that's the thing. Hey, we always feel like that as black people, but when you're gone, right, and you've left your kids, all that you've left them with, to do whatever they see fit with it, you don't have any...
You don't sell my house, guys. Ngapuka. Me. Me.
What's my point?
Me. You've been sleeping, they just say...
Bullfucker. Nah, man. But to me, I was like, nah, let me, you know, because even the people who bought it, have renovated. It's a different house.
Yeah.
Completely. I remember going.
So they went black. Like Extended. They went black.
Extended, boy. By Extended, fucked up. The garage is now a kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is such a mind fuck to me. I'm like, this is a garage.
This is why I used to wank so that no one could catch me.
Yeah.
Now it's a kitchen.
Now it's a kitchen. I'm like, oh man, I came on that place. All right, still, you know, it's like, what are you talking about?
No, you're eating and you're coming.
Not trying to, you know, telling the twice. What the mama's fire twice? So yeah, man, it's just so different now, man. And it's just so different. They've joined. I think the rooms, the house. It's just so weird, and that sentiment is gone. You know what I mean?
I've told you this.
So I don't have a regret actually.
Yeah.
Because had I not sold it, chances are I was eventually gonna go back, get depressed, and I'd still be chilling there sitting on a crate having beer or something.
Sure.
So in hindsight, no regrets as far as selling it. And also I split the cash with my brother. It's not like I just
Sure.
So even in selling, he did the right thing as well. Yeah.
I mean, I told you the story before that when I heard about what was really happening in your life,
Yeah.
I hardly shed a tear. I shed a tear, dude. And there's only two people's circumstances that have had me shed a tear.
Jeez, bro.
The first time was when Bob Mabena told me about how there was a time where he had lost
Toilet
everything.
paper story. I think I remember it.
Bob says he'd lost everything. And he was working at an ad agency. He'd wait for people to knock off around 5, 6 so that he can take sugar from the kitchen
Sugar.
and take coffee and tea bags and take a bit of toilet paper for home
Oh, yeah.
because things were that bad. And I remember shedding a tear and I say, Bob, you're Bob. You could have reached out to at least 20 of us and we could have showed up for you. And you didn't do that.
It's difficult.
You know what I mean?
But it's
and so when I heard
difficult to do
you were sleeping on the couch at 5 FM after hours. Okay, I shed a tear also for the couch because it was a 2-seater. Like, how are you fitting on a 2-seater sleeping?
It's tough, man.
Eh?
It's tough.
And I was like, why the fuck did Sol say nothing?
Because you're this guy, you work, you're getting paid, mind you, and not badly so. There's so many people in South Africa living comfortably, getting paid way less than you. So then how do you then say things are bad, and on top of that, I made them bad, I did X and Y and Z, or I'm doing X and Y and Z. So it's just very difficult. It's easier when you're like, hey, I'm not working, I'm unemployed, vele, and
Sure.
I'm the victim. But to me, I've never seen myself as the victim, because I knew then that, Jesus Christ, this is a series of really bad decisions, and I need to, I guess, hang in there. I did ask for help, but also it was petty help as well, because I was still having the problem of gambling also. So I was very short-sighted as well. But to me, it was a matter of...
You've always been short-sighted.
You get... Oh, yeah. Shit, yeah. All right. I didn't see that one coming. Oh, yeah, man. But hey, it was a weird time, dark time.
When you're on a bad decision spree,
Yeah.
where you can tell that I can see I'm in a hole, it's filling up with
The
water.
wheels are coming off and you're like flooring it still.
At what stage did you say, Sol, enough is enough? Do you remember the moment where you said, Sol, enough is enough? Because you've lost your job, you've lost your car, you've lost your name almost.
When
Some would
things started
argue.
picking up.
Yeah.
When things started picking up, and I was like, damn, okay, I still have an income. I've left radio and stuff, and that's when you truly know that, okay, I'm at a rock bottom, and at some point, you're in a hole, you have to stop digging.
Sure.
And when you're just sick and tired
Of being sick and tired.
of being sick, and when you're sick and tired of not sleeping well at night, man, you know what I mean? Of being sick and tired of not being able to pick up the phone.
Sure.
Of being sick and tired of not being able to be free online and post things and not be afraid that there's a comment somewhere that's gonna say, hey man,
Where's my equipment?
where's my money? Where's my equipment? You know what I mean? Where's this? When you're just you've had enough, bro. And you realize that life hasn't also been that bad,
Sure.
because you could have died, at any point. You could have taken your own life. I know Kayakanga speaks extensively about it. His younger brother took his own life, he had
I remember.
a gambling problem. Same thing, sports, online, you know what I mean? And when you realize that, and you're still able to generate something and live, and you're like, let me try bet on myself,
Sure.
on my abilities, and let's see how far it takes me.
Sure.
And here we are today.
At the height of your rock bottom, did you ever sometimes feel like there are certain people that you expected to show up for you
No.
that didn't show up?
No. Like I said, bro, I put myself in it. Maybe there's people who could have, had I spoke,
Sure.
but I never. One thing about me, man, I took accountability, and I still do. You know, I'm accountable for almost everything that happens to me. Sometimes there's things that happen.
You lie in the bed you make.
Yeah. There's things that you can like that can happen to you. They're not your fault. I can drive out of here now and get hit by a bus.
Sure.
Not my fault. You know, if I didn't skip a red robot, not my fault. But there's things that are your fault, and there's sometimes you can't drop such a big burden on somebody else. And also, I'm the kind of guy who isolates.
Yeah.
You know, I isolate. So at the height of it, I then isolated. You know, left 5. Even though they'd wanted to fire me, you know, stuck your neck out for me for the longest time. They could have fired me, but eventually I said, I'm out. Left Force. My friends from Force tried to get a hold of me. Don't get me wrong, they tried to get a hold of me. They didn't know how deep in gack I was in. And even if I was, they possibly could have, you know, pulled their heads together.
Yeah, because my fight was let's let Sol go with a bit of dignity. It mustn't look like it's a fiery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for that.
You know, let it be dignified at the very least.
Thank you for that, man. And I'm sorry, man, the way I left, man. You know, I know you are also like, geez, man. Sol just sent an email, didn't tell me, you know, so apologies for that.
No, it was upsetting.
I can imagine.
It wasn't upsetting from a colleague perspective.
Yeah.
It was upsetting from a brother that I expected to pull me to the side and say, dude, I'm dying here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And my friends were like, dude, it's too fresh. I'm like, no, man. Well, no. You know, come on. A bit of pride, man. I was young then, right? But nah. And also there was no one who abandoned me for, you know. I mean, my woman then left me, but I put her through so much. I put her through shit she never thought she'd get pulled into. She received calls. I remember. She received calls she never thought she'd ever receive.
She was the sweetest person ever.
She was.
Yeah.
She still is, I think. She is. Not I think. She's an amazing person, right? She got calls she never thought she'd able to get. She had to now think of scenarios that had now come to reality, to fruition. She never in a million years thought she'd be in, right? And also I presented myself as somebody else that I had become. I'd become somebody, not the same guy I presented myself to be. Yeah. And the same guy she actually met. It's not like I also presented myself to be a guy I'm not, you know? So I would want my daughter to go through that. And if my daughter went through it with somebody else, I'd say, get out, right? From experience, even if it's the same situation, I'd say, get out. Yeah. So she's the one person who got out, but everybody else, I went out of their lives. No one left me. And I'm that kind of guy. It's a bit toxic, but I'm the kind of guy who used to think I'll figure it out on my own, by myself. I got myself in here, so I'll just figure it out.
Now you're engaged.
Hey, it's MacGyver you're talking. It's not MacGyver you're talking to. Eh?
So you're not engaged.
I'm not engaged. Who said I'm engaged?
So you're not engaged.
Oh, I'm not. I'm engaging in things. But I'm not engaged. I'm not engaged. I think I will be soon, but I'm not engaged. No.
So what is it about?
I'm in a good relationship.
What is it about her that said to you, she's the one?
Hey, fresh music, the ones. Hey, fresh, oh, hey, I'm catching up. Nah, man.
Oh yeah, we're out of time. By the way, we're being shouted at. So we must wrap up soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah. She accepts me. I think as much as I think I'm a great person. Yeah. But I'm very complicated, man. Sure. You know, I'm so complicated to just. I'm a handful. You know, I'm a really handful. But I think the really good side of me overcomes all of that. Sure. And she gets it. You know what I mean? She gets me, and I can be myself. With her without being weird. You know what I mean? My weird she gets. Sure. But she's quite lucky because I haven't gone through, you know, super challenges that had to test, and I could see that she's the one. She stayed through that. Sure. So I haven't been through. I've been really blessed. So she's of late. She's lucky, Shem. Other kids had to go through a lot. Other kids had to walk through the fire. You know, so I haven't had trying moments like that, where I lose a job or I'm not making anything. Because let's be honest, guys.
If you lost
it's
everything,
important
do you
in
think she'd
relationship. If I lost everything, I think she would. Because she made me with nothing, pretty much,
Okay.
But not nothing. Things were decent. You know what I mean? Like when she met me, I was okay.
You're building again.
Yes, I was building again, but there was progress.
So you're currently on the biggest podcast on the continent.
Yeah.
And easily one of the biggest podcasts on the planet, as far as podcasting goes.
Crazy, right?
You're back on radio.
Yeah.
You've paid every debt that you owe.
Yeah.
How does it feel trying not to feel like you are invincible now? Because often what we do, when things are going so well, we almost forget where we've been. Or you feel like I'm invincible. Superman,
I never.
Yeah.
I never, man, feel like, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
Because every day people are Sol, man, you always got this energy, and to me it's because, bro, I used to dream for days like this,
Yeah.
And it was not podcasting or being on the radio, just being happy, comfortable, living.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Having a purpose, and I'm lucky now that it's even better like that. I'm fulfilling my purpose. And every day when I wake up, there isn't like a hard reminder of how things used to be, but there's a hard sense of appreciation of how things are, and that things have not always been like this.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And this is South Africa, so you get reminded of where you were every day.
Very fast.
Very fast.
Very fast.
You drive out, you see a guy like, that used to be me.
That was me.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You meet a guy, so that used to be me, on the phone, someone is asking for 5 clipper or whatever. That used to be me. I don't give to everyone because of, then you can't. It's impossible. It's not practical,
Yeah.
But even when I say no, I don't have, or I can't, but I'm still just reminded that used to be me. And even in my response, I'm very humble and understanding, you know what I mean? Because that used to be me.
Sure.
So as much as things are okay, you get reminded. I'd be very silly to be a shitty person to the next guy, because when I'm at, for example, at Kaya, or when I'm on the podcast, there's an intern. I used to be that intern.
Yeah.
Literally, I used to be that intern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's this guy doing that. I used to be that guy. There's the guy without a car. I used to be that guy. So I'm reminded every day. So how can you forget,
Before we wrap up, we're going to play a quick game.
I love games.
Yeah, the game you guys stole. Mac, when last?
Yeah, Mac steals all the games, right?
When last did you stop yourself from spending money, maybe because it was knee-jerk based on where you've been in your journey, in your struggle?
I explain that.
Like, you're about to buy something and you're like, ish, maybe I shouldn't, because maybe it's too much money.
It was like 3 weeks ago, a few weeks ago. Like, you remind yourself almost a lot of times, because you're like, nah, bruh, it's not, it's too much. And also, one thing about having been where I've been, right? I've got a big fear with financially needing, because of where I was. And also, remember where I was, I used to borrow money a lot from people.
Oh, yes.
And now I never want to borrow money, because they'll say, he's fucked up again. He's doing X and Y again. So I've got a fear of being like broke, and I've got a big fear. So then I'm careful, but I'm not stingy, I'm still working with not spending on things I don't need to spend on, and also because I went through a period where I enjoyed spending. Yeah. Because for the longest time I couldn't spend on shit because my money was getting eaten up by a gambling habit. Sure. So it's nice sometimes to walk into a shop and just, you're like, so the money actually does this. You enjoy it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then I had to stop a bit. Well, okay, but now
enough now.
We can't now. Enough now. Yeah.
When last did you gamble?
Yo, bro, it's been what year are you in? It's been like 5 years. Like 2018. 5 years now. It's been a while, bro.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, and and now even I tell people, like, you can't just don't get into trouble. Gamble on money and
Be
don't
responsible.
think, and don't chase. And tell people don't chase.
Gamble with money you have.
And don't chase, because if you lose the 10,000 today and you are chasing it, it means you can't afford to lose it.
Absolutely.
So you lose the money, you're trying to win it back.
So gamble with the money you can afford to lose.
Yeah, because eventually I had to be like, okay, fuck. If I stopped last year,
Yeah.
I would be in the red by, let's say, 500K.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the red by 800K.
Yeah.
So if I continue, in 3 years' time, I'll be in the red by 3 million.
Yeah.
Fuck, let's go, right? So you decide to like, okay, just take the accountability.
Sure.
Because when you start chasing, that's where the problem is. Nothing wrong with the bookmakers. They're not the devil or whatever, but it's mentally, it fucks with people, you know, when you get to a point you're chasing.
When last did you have a conversation with mom? Whether it was in a prayer or you at her gravesite?
Like 2 days ago, man. Yeah, I have it almost everywhere and anywhere. A lot of times we make the mistake of going to the grave or going to that corner in the house. Whereas I'd like to believe that, you know, wherever you are, they see you. You know, she sees you. She's with you. So just do it. Talk to them wherever and whenever. And also, I'm of the belief that when I'm overwhelmed with her presence, then I talk to her wherever I am. Obviously not on the radio.
So what did you say to her 2 days ago?
I can't remember, but it was because I do it so often. But it was just I'm good. Thank you for everything. And, you know, like sometimes like I feel your presence.
Sure.
Thank you for everything. And yeah, I miss you big time, but you're always here, man. And thank you. Or sometimes it would be, wow, can you believe what happened? I used to dream of days like this. I used to dream of this room I just came out of now, and this just went down. You know, it's mostly gratitude and messages of gratitude.
Sure. When last did you rock a fan or a groupie?
Fresh. What is this?
The question.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that, man.
But do you know when last you rocked a fan or a groupie?
Fresh. No, man, it was it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Been a minute. No, you know what? It's been a minute. I want to say something, right?
Say it.
But my woman is also a human with her life.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Sure.
But she found out. You know what I mean? My woman. It was not easy, but it was a while ago. It's been a minute. I'm very disciplined now. You know, when it comes to those things. Yeah, I zip it. You know, and keep it zipped. Yeah.
When last did you have a moment with yourself in a bathtub?
Not in a bathtub.
So where do you do it now? Where do you do it now?
It's been a minute, man. I live with my woman. Come on now. What do you mean?
When she's not there, like even Mac the other day was saying, the other day she was...
when she's not there, the last time it was when she had visited home.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she went home and she's gone to visit and it was like a week without her. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing a bottle of Dawn can't fix. Nothing a bottle of Dawn can't fix.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it dawns on you that you're in need and your person is not around, you know, from dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
You have to handle business, I mean, you know. You have to, you know. But yeah, whenever she's not around, man, for long periods.
When last did you feel like maybe there is gatekeeping in our industry?
Like a few months ago.
What happened?
I was supposed to be have a partnership with I think it was like an alcohol brand, Captain Morgan and stuff. And just before doing the thing, someone was like, "Nah, that's the Sol podcast, this and that." Actually, it happens almost every week where you go, "Oh, that guy said this," or "Oh, you guys were supposed to do this," and someone gatekeeper. As much as we are deserving of the gig,
yes,
the platform is deserving of the gig. We are good at what we do and we're deserving of the gig.
Yeah.
Someone will then gatekeep, because that's what I deem gatekeeping. When someone is deserving, but just because they're not who you want them to be or you don't like them, They don't care at the gig.
Isn't it wild that sometimes you even hear of what people say that you thought were in your corner? Or you haven't had that moment yet?
I haven't had that moment, but I know the industry. And that's why I'm very, I'd say, circumspect of a lot of people and relationships because I know the industry.
Yeah, keep them.
So to me, I assume everyone is saying kak.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors. I assume.
I've never told the story. I'm going to tell the story quickly.
Yeah.
2007, myself and Skizo are working on an album.
Yeah.
And we redid a song, The Weakness in Me. And I remember we submitted our video to, I think it was live at the time, 2007. You know, for 4 weeks, they sat on our video. For 4 weeks, they sat on our video. Kanti Andile has his own version of the same song on an album he's releasing. So because we released before them, and they sat on our video.
Wow.
So our video only played once Andile's song and video were out. And I didn't say nothing about it because I'm a firm believer in nobody owes you shit.
And were you seeing him in that period? Did you like him?
No, dude. I was like Andile's biggest fan at the time.
Shit.
And of the show. You know what I mean?
But guys.
But that's when I realized that nobody owes you shit.
No one, bro.
So even me, at the height of being at 5FM, had to deal with shit like that. And I'm telling the story because a lot of kids want to play victim. About nobody owes you.
No one owes you anything.
Nobody owes you shit.
Like
dude.
people like fuck it. You're like, and you don't even know what that means. You're like, what does that mean? You're fuck. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I never like knocked on Mac's door and saying fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I used to work with Sol at thingy, and you get an opportunity, and then you kill that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no one owes you anything, and people always like it, guys. No one owes you shit. Do what you're dope at. Put yourself out there. Send the stuff. Work with people. Collaborate with people, and you'll get your platform like that. But how do I follow you, bro? Let's say so. Yes, let's work on this, and if I like it, you do some cool things. And the time is right for me also.
I feel like Sol on Dinel's show right now. Can I talk now?
Yeah.
We are out of time.
Yeah.
We're being shouted at. Apparently, we've gone 30 minutes over.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
So we'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah. We need a part 2, man.
But the reason I wanted to get you in here is a lot of people are seeing you fly right now, but don't necessarily know the journey you've walked.
Oh, bro.
The pain you've been through.
Oh, man.
They don't understand the role maybe mom played in your life.
Yeah.
And for me, it was important that...
Thank you, man.
That missing piece of the puzzle is put in place.
Thank you, bro.
So
yeah.
People can have Sol in context.
People are going through the most, and I'm always happy to share my story because sometimes pain is pain.
Yeah.
Whether it be caused by self or created, the source of it created by self, it is still pain. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, and we're human, we're fragile, we feel shit and go through shit. But what's important is that we overcome shit. And man, I'm always happy to tell my story, bro, because whether it be someone out there not going through the same problem, like going through the same thing as I'm going through, but not caused by the same actions, it's still suffering and it's still turmoil and it's still darkness.
Sure.
And we need to find a way of maneuvering around it, you know. But it all starts with accountability, bro, most importantly.
My dude, I love you.
Love you so much, man.
I'm proud of you.
Bro, my big bro.
Still, you're probably your number one fan. Still. And keep kicking ass, man.
Thank you, man.
Keep kicking ass and enjoy raising Malaika. These little people, before you know it, she'll be an adult and she'll think you're not cool enough to hang out with. So enjoy her while you can.
Can you imagine, right?
Absolutely.
I'm like, me not cool? What do you mean? But it's coming.
May I talk?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sol Phenduka.
Yes. Yeah. Part 2. We need part 2, man.
Part 2 loading.
Sounds like a vendor name. Part 2 Chedzo
loading.
Part 2 Chedzo. It's hot chilidzi loading.
Mango.
Nah, grooves. Mango sutu. Oh shit, too soon. Mango sutu. Too soon.
No, never too soon. Never too soon. In fact,
let it die.
It's a matter of fact. We will let it die.
I mean, let it rest.
South Africa lost an icon this past week, someone who undoubtedly helped shape this country in many ways. Even if there's many things you didn't like about him, there's one lesson he leaves behind that we can all take heed of. Make yourself heard. Even if the point you're trying to make results in a speech that is so long that it, as a matter of fact, gets into the Guinness Book of World Records, make yourself heard. It is in that spirit of perseverance that we wish you a wow week ahead. Shout out to AM Studios for hosting us, Africa Podcast Network, We Are Family, Pezulu Works for the cinematography, Artisto Flo Fraser for all of our imaging, and our guest, Mojak Lehoko and Sol Phenduka. Shout out to our creative producer, Kuvesh Mohan, and our show producer, Kelozo Mudisa. Email us at waw@africapodcastnetwork.com. Have a great week in spite of yourselves.